Religion is like a cult. There are so many made up rules that don't make any sense. Sometimes people can't even drink caffeine or watch TV. I just don't get it, and I don't think we need religion in 2022.
Ooh.
I think religion can be very helpful to some people and very harmful to other people. So I think it's just about a more open perspective on religion and people just being able to examine it from an objective perspective on whether they like it and whether it helps them or not. And if it doesn't help them, I think it should be more okay to just not deal with it.
For sure. Did you ever feel like you were in a cult, in your own religion?
I mean, not really, luckily, but definitely looking back, I'm like, don't love all that.
Yeah. Sometimes I hear a lot of people say in 2022, we have other communities, we have different groups, even the creators that you subscribe to on YouTube can be like your own
Kinda
religion.
culty, yeah.
Do you still feel like we need traditional religious institutions in 2022?
I mean, yeah, I think some people do. I think whatever works for people and whatever makes people genuinely happy, but I think when it becomes negative and when people get taken advantage of and all the bad stuff happens, like that's not okay. And I personally don't like it very much for myself, but again, it helps some people, so.
And one more hot take for you. A lot of times people in their own religions can feel like their religion is the only way of life. And I know you were talking about Catholicism, and growing up, you were taught that that was the only way to live. Do you feel like there is one religion that is more correct than another religion?
Absolutely not. I don't think so. I actually have an interesting perspective where I think that all the religions are just meant to make people feel connected to whoever they think their creator is or whatever. And I just think that everybody can be right at the same time. Like, I think that it's more just about being a kind person, because most of the religions, as far as I know, I think all of them, they end with the same kind of core beliefs, like to love other people, to be a kind person, to take care of each other, like without all the very specific things, like that's what it boils down to a lot. So I think that it all just kind of has the same goal, and I think that it can all coexist just fine. People who save themselves for marriage, these are intense, haven't even experienced a real relationship. Intimacy plays such an important role in figuring out who you're supposed to be with.
Spicy.
I don't agree with that. I think that some people who wait till marriage have really, really awesome relationships and experiences. And I think that intimacy can be important, for sure, and it can change the course of your relationship. I don't think that it's integral to know whether you want to be with someone forever. So I don't agree with that. I think that you can definitely experience a real relationship if you wait till marriage.
I hear you. Did you save yourself for marriage?
Oh no, I didn't. I still experienced a great relationship. So I think both ways it can go.
And did you ever feel pressure to save yourself for marriage because of your religion?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a big belief that it's like a sin and you have to do it or you're going to go to hell or something. So, and I got a lot of the talks in youth group and all kinds of stuff, but I felt like I was free to make that choice when I started to change my beliefs on religion.
Got it.
And when I did, I was like, okay, this really isn't like the devil that people make it out to be. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Again, like, I think that some people can do it and it can be great. Other people, it can end up badly. And I've heard people who wait till marriage and then they're like, oh my God, this is too much. This is all happening all at once. And I didn't even realize this would happen. And they don't even like the person that they're with anymore. And like, it can be an issue. But I think that both ways it can go really good or really bad.
For sure.
Both ways.
For sure.
People who get married young will probably get divorced before they're 30. Definitely agree with that.
Really? I was gonna say.
Then I would get divorced. No, I just think people need to not have such one-way perspectives on things. Like, yeah, statistically, actually, a lot of people who get married young will get divorced. But also, a lot of people who get married young don't have a great foundation. They don't necessarily understand what marriage is like. And they don't have that commitment to their partner that they would if they were 30, which I totally get. And that makes sense. And it makes sense why people break up, because they're 20 and they're like, oh, we should just get married. Or they get pregnant and they're like, we have to get married. And so I can see why people end up divorced. But I think if you go into it like I did with the right mindset, like it's going to be hard. I just feel like people think that if you get married older, you're never going to change again. Like, you're never going to grow, you're never going to go through bad times. Like, if you get married when you're 26 or 30, then like suddenly you won't go through changes, but like you definitely change from when you're 30 to 40 to 50 and so on. And like everybody saw their parents go through struggles. And so I think it's just about being committed. I think that's really what it is. Like, you either choose to do it or you don't,
Yeah, I hear you.
I hope Dani starts a new band with Emin. I don't think I would ever do that. Ever. Not because of anything, like with Emin, but because I don't want to be in a band.
Sure. Do you think it would be controversial if you started a new band or joined another band?
It probably would. It probably would.
How do you think your sisters would feel?
Imagine if I joined a girl group. Oh my God. My sisters would probably be really sad. I would be sad.
Wow.
If you left the group and then joined another group, I'd be pretty sad.
So there isn't a band in your future?
No, I'd say there's definitely not a band in my
But
future.
maybe some singing?
Maybe some singing, maybe.